is one man Manchester United have to make their number one priority target, and that is the man Manchester United are making their number one priority target, and that is Elliot Anderson. He is absolutely phenomenal. He's absolutely what we need in midfield. He's young. He's the next maybe Declan Rice-like player. But does Elliot Anderson want Manchester United? Because Elliot Anderson's dream club and most likely future club has already been chosen. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Nathaniel Brown, a left back that's been linked to Manchester United. Valverde, United looking at Valverde. Skeptical about those reports. Could he be the Anderson alternative? Could Anderson have his eyes somewhere else? Semenyo, United preparing a move for Antoine Semenyo and more. So, hello, and welcome back to Alice Talks Football, and welcome back to your 10-minute Manchester United news, transfer news, and update roundup show, where in today's video, we're going to be rounding up all the latest Manchester United news into 10 minutes for you guys. And we're going to start with the Elliot Anderson news. And I have to say, I'm a little bit worried that Elliot Anderson could be going to Manchester City. To miss out on Elliot Anderson would be a big blow. To miss out on him to rivals Manchester City would be an even bigger blow. But unfortunately, I think things are going that way. But before we talk about the news on Anderson and City's attempt to get Anderson and why Anderson may prefer City, let's talk about him, because this is a nut stat. And Baleba got benched again. Baleba's been poor this season. This guy, Elliot Anderson, is everything we need. Elliot Anderson became the first player in the last 10 Premier League seasons to have these stats in a single match. 100 plus touches, 10 plus ball recoveries, 10 plus duels won, 5 plus key passes, and 5 plus successful dribbles, and his team lost 2-0. 5 dribbles, 5 key passes on the ball. Off the ball, 11 duels. 6 key passes, 13 ball recoveries. Guys, I don't think you realise how insane those stats are versus Brighton. He was a one-man midfield. We've seen when he's had to dominate possession with England, how good he's been in possession at connecting midfield to attack. He's phenomenal on the ball. But he's out of possession. Whether Nottingham Forest are good, he plays well. When Nottingham Forest are bad, he plays well. And out of possession, the shift he put him against Man United, we saw how good he is. The shift he put in against Brighton yesterday was absolutely ridiculous. I didn't just look at his stats, I went and watched him. Wow, this guy is phenomenal. We keep hearing about Declan Rice, Moises Caicedo. Man United don't have that elite level midfielder. Casemiro was elite, but his legs are gone. Bruno Fernandes is an elite number 10, but we haven't had elite level number 6 in a very long time. I feel like we've never truly replaced Michael Carrick. Schneiderlin never worked out. We ignored the 6 role. Matic was a short-term solution. This has got to be the guy we go for. He's also the only player to win possession over 100 times in the Premier League this season, which is 34 more times than any other player. We need someone that's really good at winning the ball back, but we also need someone with the quality on the ball. Agate is actually pretty good at winning the ball back, but Agate lacks that quality on the ball, and Agate becomes a pressing trigger, where Anderson isn't. This is the problem. Elliot Anderson has already informed his entourage of his intention to give priority to Man City for future transfer. Now, this is worrying. Now, the one thing I will say about Sacha Toveri is everything he tweets, it seems to be anti-United. That this player chose this team, this player chose that team. I'm pretty sure he said Mbuma had chose Tottenham, and that didn't turn out to be true. He's often tweeted things which would annoy United fans and hasn't been true. So he's not the most reliable source of information. However, Elliot Anderson today has gone and followed the likes of Haaland, Manchester City, and pretty much all the City players on Instagram, which is worrying. But then you could say Elise went and followed Man United on Instagram and ended up signing for Bayern Munich. But then we didn't have Champions League football, so apparently we couldn't trigger his release clause, which is why we didn't get him. I don't know. We do know that Elliot Anderson wants Champions League football. I don't know if we're going to get Champions League football. I think if we got Champions League football this season, we could go for Elliot Anderson. But I don't know if we can beat City to Elliot Anderson. Craig Hope, a very good journalist, said this. Man City ready to make Elliot Anderson 23 one of their top targets in 2026. Nottingham Forest asking price is likely 80 to 100 million. Other clubs are interested. Now, you might be saying they've got Reinders and they've got Nico Gonzalez that are doing well. Yes, but Bernardo's aging, Rodri's aging and having injury issues. City are greedy. There's a reason why City have won so many league titles and so many trophies, because even when they have a solid team, they want to make their team better. Even if they have Nico Gonzalez playing well, Reinders playing well, Rodri playing well, they will want Elliot Anderson, whereas United would settle with that team. Elliot Anderson, I think, will choose Manchester City over Man United. I know Declan Rice chose Arsenal over City, but Arsenal were having a stable project where they've come second and he was already in London. It's Manchester versus Manchester. It's not location we're competing with. He's not a Man United fan like Mbeumo. He's not a Man United fan like Cunha, like Baleba. Elliot Anderson is a Newcastle fan. He's not going back to Newcastle. Elliot Anderson will think that his career, does he go to Man United and play midfield under Ruben Amorim, where every midfielder has got worse? I mean, you can say Casemiro's got better, but the midfield hasn't got the best out of our players. Or we can go and play in midfield for Pep, where Pep could turn him into one of the most elite level midfielders. At Man City, you're guaranteed stability, success. You're guaranteed an easier transition, and if it does go wrong, you're going to get less stick. At Manchester United, it's known as is a career risk. It's a team that might not be in Europe. With City, you're guaranteed in Europe, you're guaranteed trophies, you get to play with Pep Guardiola, it's safe. With Man United, it's a project. It's been a project for 10 years. Can you tell players it's a project? You said it was a project 5 years ago, and you're even worse now. That's the problem. All we've got over City is the history. You can be the Roy Keanes. You can be the Paul Scholes. You can be the guy that brings Man United back. That's all we've got over City. And to be honest, I think the other thing we have over City is we're like, you're going to be the main man in midfield. We're going to give you game time. You might not get that at City, but I think he will get game time. I think he's too good not to. We can maybe offer him the game time. But I think if we get Champions League football, maybe we can get him. But I am worried we're going to miss out on him to City. Let's now talk about the fullback situation. It's been reported by Samuel Luckhurst that United staff are baffled by Luke Shaw's continued omission from the England squad, admitting he's been very injury-free since April and is adamant he can still play left-back. Insiders believe Shaw is having a good season. Luke Shaw's had a mixed season, but I thought he was absolutely phenomenal yesterday versus Crystal Palace. I think he was probably man of the match, and I think he kept us in the game. I think he was phenomenal versus Crystal Palace. Considering Dan Burn's been playing out of position at left-back and not been playing well at left-back, and he's still getting picked, you could argue that Luke Shaw is a better left-back than Dan Burn. Dan Burn is a better centre-back than Luke Shaw, but Luke Shaw is having a good season at centre-back. Dan Burn wasn't having a good season at left-back. You could argue for World Cup experience, for how he's been playing the season, that Luke Shaw should be picked over Dan Burn. Now, the right-back has to be Reece James, and the left-back has to be Lewis Hall. For me, if they're fit, they're England's two best. Liver and Mento also needs to be called up because he can play both left-back and right-back. That spot is Lewis Skelly, Nico O'Reilly, Luke Shaw. I would go Luke Shaw. Dan Burn's one of the centre-backs. I think Luke Shaw's been unlucky not to be called up for England. Talking of left-backs, Man United have also been linked to Nathaniel Brown. Apparently he's going to be expensive, but we've been linked to him from reports in Germany. Apparently Real Madrid want him and Bayern Munich want him. I don't think we're going to get him, but he's 22. He's probably most similar to Nuno Mendes in terms of a left-back, and I definitely think we need more quality at left-back. He's a very good crosser, which is something I think Dorgu lacks. It's a good chance created, but also is very good defensively. He's very similar to Nuno Mendes. I'd like him for the right price, but I think when Bayern Munich and Real Madrid are in for a player, we're probably not going to get them. Talking of Real Madrid players, Manchester United are eyeing a shot move for Federico Valverde. United are reportedly prepared to offer around 80 million, but Real Madrid are holding out for 100 million. I like Valverde. I think he's a little bit overrated because he's at Real Madrid and he's got the Real Madrid tax. I think he'd be a good signing for United at £60 million. I would do it. I don't think he's been great for Real Madrid this season. When I've watched Real Madrid play, he's a good player. I take him in midfield without a shadow of a doubt, but I ain't picking him over Elliot Anderson. People might say English bias, English tax, but he's 27. Real Madrid only sell players when they want to move them on and get someone better. I like Valverde. I don't think we'll get him. I don't think we're going for him. I think I would take the report with a pinch of salt, but I think if we miss out on Elliot Anderson and Baleba continues to be shite and we can't get Wharton because we don't get Champions League football, I think United will try and go for someone like Valverde because they know they need an elite level midfielder. I'd be happy if we sign Valverde, don't get me wrong. I think he's a good player, but I think Prem improvement in the Prem, I think it's so difficult in the Premier League. I think that Elliot Anderson is younger. I personally prefer Elliot Anderson to Valverde. In my opinion, I know Real Madrid fans that haven't been super happy with Valverde this season. And last but not least, let's get into Semenyo news. Man United are also lurking in the shadows, ready to swoop for Antoine Semenyo. We've been linked to Semenyo quite a bit lately. Liverpool are favourites, Arsenal have interest, City have interest as well, despite having Doku in good form. United are there, United are interested in Semenyo. He's available for 65 million in January, but United haven't decided if they're going to make a move or not, because obviously we've got Mbeumo, we've got Cunha, we've got Sesko, we brought in a load of new attackers. The money we want to really put on wing back and midfield, but then there's a really good opportunity for Semenyo, but can we give him the minutes because we can't rotate loads? You know, there's big questions around what we'll do with Semenyo. I don't think we're going to make a move for Semenyo. I think he's going to go to Liverpool, but you never know. I think Semenyo would be a statement, and I hope we can get him. But anyway, people, thank you for watching today's video. See you next time. Bye.